This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Joshua-Buatsi here in Croydon. Josh, firstly, how are you? How is life treating you?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Haven't been in Croydon for a minute, so it's nice to be back for a bit. It's nice, man.
I was about to ask, obviously, we're here in the ends, in your ends, where you grew up. What's it like for you coming back here? I don't imagine you'll have much time to go back around, see people, but what's it like, just a brief stop?
It's nice, yeah, it's nice. You asked if I grew up around here, and I did. This is like the main bit of it as well, so yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be here briefly, as quick as it is.
Josh, obviously you're back over here now, don't you? Imagine you'll be venturing out to the States to finish off camp. We're only a few weeks away, but can you just walk me through how this camp has gone with Virgil?
It's been good. I haven't been in the States. I've been in Portsmouth. And from here, I'll be going back to Portsmouth. I won't be going back to the States. The fight's 3 weeks away, man. Yeah, so now it's been good. It's been different. I haven't been prepared for a fight in England for maybe, I think like 4 years. It's been a long time, bro. So it's nice. It's nice.
What prompted that change in scene?
Um, just wanted to stay in England for this fight, but not in London. Not too far from London, but just not in London for me. And the way things worked out for this fight, we wanted to stay in here, so we made it happen.
Josh, I just asked Dan about your previous sparring experiences. Now, I did an interview with Buddy prior to what would have been Joshua White 2, obviously before the fight got pulled, and he mentioned he saw you two spar last year. Dan says you two actually sparred back in around March time. Yeah. Sparring at such recently, in comparison to when this fight is, I imagine you can take quite a lot away from that. I know they say sparring, but that was only, 5 or 6 months ago?
It was February or March. If I knew I was going to fight Dan, I'd remember it. I'd have said, remember that session, but I can't because I spar Dan all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I can't really remember it too much. But, of course, I know how Dan fights and what to expect. So that's what I'm working towards.
Have you seen the developments in Dan throughout his career, throughout the years that you two have been sharing the ring?
Not even developments. Dan fights better than he spars. So for me, that's enough information already.
Josh, how do you approach this fight? How do you approach Dan Azeez to get your hand raised?
Do what you have to do to win. If you have to box. If you have to fight. Mix it up. Do whatever it is. Just make sure you're winning the rounds, and at the end, if it gets there, your hand is raised.
Going into this fight, Josh, there's a lot of talk about it being billed as a 50-50, all the momentum we've done, because obviously he's had a very good run of wins. He's been very active as well. Some people might be a little critical of your last performance against Steppen in Birmingham. Do you dismiss any talk of it being 50-50? Do you see yourself as a favourite, or do you understand why others look at it like that?
2 hands, 2 legs. It's a 50-50 fight. We have to get in the bell will ring, and then we sort it out. Let them know who the real fighter is. So I'm not keeping up to any platforms or whatever saying it's 50-50 or it's not. I'm not up to date.
How does it feel preparing for a friend?
I'm preparing to fight a good fighter. Yeah, not a friend. No, I'm preparing to fight a good fighter. Of course, it's no secret that Dan is someone that I've known for years. I've trained with for years. But I'm preparing to fight a good fighter. So I don't sit at camp and think, I'm preparing to fight a friend of mine. Nah. I'm fighting someone that wants to win, someone that's hungry, a good fighter in Dan Azeez. It just happens to be someone that I know. So I'm just preparing to fight a final eliminator for a good fighter.
You've experienced a big domestic fight for when you fought Craig Richards. Obviously, this Dan Azeez one seems to have a bit more excitement around it. Even this week, obviously, we've got Wood-Warrington up in Sheffield. Boxing fans, especially in the UK, they love an all-domestic clash. Do you feel that added extra excitement heading into this fight?
Yeah, I could tell it's there. I'm kind of in my own bubble with what I'm doing, but I could tell it's there, which is good. It's not time to come out and fight yet. We're 18 days away, so the time is coming. It's around the corner, so it's good that there's excitement. My fight with Spider, yes, is someone that I knew, but the dynamics between Dan and myself and Spider is very different. So, yeah. Again, it's an old friend that I have to fight, and we will get on.
I imagine you'll give a very similar answer to Dan with this next question, but obviously we saw Anthony Yarde go onto your platform and he called out the winner of this fight. Ben Shalom made no secret of attempting to try and accrue a deal for the winner of you two to face him. But what did you make of Anthony actually going out of his way to go into Sky Sports to try and secure a fight against you two?
Irrelevant, man. I'm going to sleep. I got to deal with Dan first, you know. We could talk about Yarde another time, but come on, look who you fought on the weekend, man. Come on.
That's an interesting point you make, because I wanted to raise that. With the exception of when he stepped up to world level, a lot of people have been critical of his opponents, anybody else he's faced. What have you made of that journey and outside of his world title attempts?
I haven't made anything of his journey, man. Just right now as Azeez. Yarde now, yeah, we could fight later, but for now as Azeez, just like I said, look who he fought last and come talking rubbish. Like,
one thing I'm interested to get your thoughts on, Josh, obviously when you turned over pro, there was a lot of excitement around you. There was a lot of excitement around that 2016 Rio Olympics team. You've seen Joe Cordina go on to become world champion twice. Lawrence Okolie as well. Granted, he's recently lost his title to Chris Billam-Smith. When you look at it and you look at the journey you've been on, do you feel like your career's been slow? Do you feel like it underachieved?
no, how can I underachieve if it's not over yet? Yeah, and I clocked one thing. It's always you that got to ask me these questions. Other people might ask similar, but it's always you that pulls up. But I always say to you, and I said this in the last time you asked me this, I can't be watching other people's journey. Everyone's on their own journey. You're with, who's this, Boxing Social?
Boxing News.
News. You didn't start with them. You're on a different path, different journey. Someone might argue and say the old platform you were with is bigger than this one. I don't even know the stats. Maybe, maybe not. But you're happy, you're doing what you want to do, so you can't read too much into that, man.
I was going to say, Josh, like, I'm not suggesting that anyway. I don't want you to think that.
Man, I don't feel a way about it. That's why I'm still here doing an interview. You asked the question, I answered. It's not that deep, bro.
I'm glad to know, because I wouldn't fancy my chances if you were standing your head with me.
It's not that deep, man.
Josh, just kind of looking at kind of how the scene currently lies. I know you've got those aspirations, as you said, to touch from the world scene. You've got the Callum Smith Artur Beterbiev fight in January. I just want to get your thoughts on that, and how do you rate Callum's chances against Artur Beterbiev?
I think he's got a very, very high chance, to be fair. It was meant to be, I think, August or something like that. Then it got made to January. So, of course, it's a fight I'll be watching. Hard to give comments on anything else, because you can imagine right now all I'm thinking about is October 21st. I'm trying to let my thoughts go away, but it's quite hard.
Do you watch much boxing outside of it? For example, this weekend you've got Wood-Warrington. Like, everybody's excited to see that. Will you be tuning in?
Yeah, I'll be watching it. I watched a bit of the Sky show on the weekend, a little bit of it. I watched a bit of the Matchroom one as well. Watched the Canelo fight. My boy Barrios, I watched his fight. There's boxing, like you said, the weekend coming I'll be watching. I watch boxing all the time. Yes, sometimes it's not the live shows that are happening, but I'm always watching boxing.
What did you make of Mario's win against Yordenis, Ugas?
Very happy for him, man. That's my guy right there. Very, very happy for him. Very happy for him. He deserves it. And big him up, man.
That main event, some critics there for Jamal Charlo. Do you understand those?
Do I understand it? Listen, man, just, if people get in the ring and then they do better, cool. But if not, then I don't want to hear it, man. But yeah, for that fight, I didn't make it for that one. My primary one was to watch the Mario one, which I watched, and after that I called it a day.
I was going to say, it must have been very late for you in the night.
That it was, man, but we made time for it.
Just a couple of thoughts, just to quickly wrap this up on Wood-Warrington. Just your thoughts on that, Josh, please.
Wood-Warrington. Do you know what? Warrington I haven't met before. But Wood, I like him. I met him recently, but I like him even more, man. And the thing is, even prior to meeting him, I've been watching him, and I'm like, this guy, there's something about what he does. They've got a great team, great trainers, and yeah, you know, if you're like who you're supporting, like I said, I've spoken to Wood, I've seen him, met the dude, I like him.
Bam Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards.
Good fight, that is, yeah, good fight. Rodriguez special, but Sonny can fight. That's one thing we can't take away from Sonny. He can fight. He's a very, very good boxer. How do I see that going? I haven't got a clue, but if I'm to put where my money is, I'll say Sonny to win that one.
Devin Haney and Prograis.
Again, I'm going off based on who I know. I know Haney, so I'm gonna say Haney. My answers are very simple, bro. There's no thinking behind it, but yeah, I'll say Haney.
Okay, I know you know Anthony Joshua well, but obviously we just saw Zhang Jilei defeat Joyce in stunning fashion with a third-round stoppage win.
My answers are simple, bro. It's straightforward, bro. Joshua beats him.
All right, Josh, listen, I appreciate your time. I'm going to leave a final message to yourself. Anything you'd like to leave on, anything you'd like to say to your fans, your followers, to Dan Azeez ahead of October 21st?
I've said too much to Dan. He knows we've got 18 days to go. So that message is simple. And to the fans and everyone tuning, man. And also, man, I want to give a shout out to Joyce, man. I haven't had the chance to speak to him, but just to know, we're still supporting him for sure.
It's a very good message there to end on, Josh. I appreciate your time and good luck on October 21st.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, man.